Does your morning coffee secretly make you tired, forgetful, or even harm your heart? Sounds crazy, right? But some people online say that coffee, tea, and chocolate can drain your body of vitamin B1, also called thiamine, and that this can cause serious health problems. No energy, memory issues, heart trouble, all from your favorite snacks and drinks? Well, let's look at the facts. Yes, some lab studies show that caffeine and certain enzymes in coffee and tea, called thiaminases, can break down or block vitamin B1. But here's the catch. These studies were done in test tubes or on animals. No solid evidence shows this happens in real humans. Drinking real coffee. In other words, there's zero proof that your cup of tea or bite of chocolate is destroying your brain or heart. So if someone on YouTube tells you to quit coffee immediately or you'll get some rare disease from the 1800s, relax. You're not going to end up with beriberi or memory loss from your morning latte. But this is a great chance to talk about why vitamin B1 is actually important. Vitamin B1 is like the spark plug in your body's energy engine. Without it, your cells can't turn food into fuel. Your brain, muscles, and heart slow down, like a phone stuck in low-power mode. Inside your cells, tiny machines called mitochondria use B1 to help make energy. Without B1, these machines stall. You also need it to build RNA, the stuff that carries genetic instructions. It's like trying to build a house with no blueprints. So what happens when you don't get enough B1? If it's just a little low, you might feel tired, moody, forgetful, or lose your appetite. Maybe your heart skips a beat now and then. These symptoms are vague, kind of like reading your horoscope. Everyone sees themselves in it. Luckily, mild deficiency is easy to fix. Eat the right food, maybe take a supplement, and you're back to normal. But a severe deficiency? That's a different story. People with very low B1 can get a condition called beriberi. In one version, your nerves start failing. Your legs feel weak, your reflexes slow down, and your brain gets foggy. In another version, your heart weakens and fluid builds up in your body. You feel swollen and short of breath. There's also a scary condition called Wernicke syndrome, mostly found in people with alcoholism. It starts with confusion, loss of coordination, and eye problems. If it gets worse, it can lead to Korsakoff's psychosis, where your brain starts inventing memories. You might swear you remember events that never happened. But let's be clear, these serious conditions are rare. Most healthy people will never get them. So where do we get B1? The good news is it's in a lot of foods. Whole grains like buckwheat, oatmeal, and brown rice are great sources. So are lentils, beans, nuts, meat, fish, eggs, and poultry. We only need a tiny amount, just over a milligram a day. That's smaller than a grain of rice. But since our bodies can't store much of it, we need to get some pretty much every day. Because B1 dissolves in water, some of it gets lost when you boil food and throw away the water. But don't worry, if you eat a varied diet, you're probably fine. Now, how do you know if you're getting enough? Blood tests don't really help here. They show how much B1 is floating around, but not what's inside your cells. There's a special test called the transketolase activity test. It checks how your cells respond when B1 is added. If activity jumps, it means your body was running low. But it's hard to find this test, and in some places, it's not available at all. An easier option is to measure how much B1 you're peeing out in a day. If it's over 100 micrograms, you're probably getting enough. Now, who actually needs to worry about B1? First, people with alcoholism. Alcohol blocks B1 absorption, and they often don't eat well. That's a double whammy. Second, people with diabetes. They often have lower B1 levels. We don't know exactly why. It could be poor absorption or faster loss through urine. Either way, it makes sense for them to take a supplement. Other groups at risk include people with heart failure, gut disorders, HIV, or anyone who's had bariatric surgery. These folks might need more B1 or absorb less of it. Now let's talk supplements. Most multivitamins have B1 in the water-soluble form, either thiamine hydrochloride or thiamine mononitrate. That's usually enough for prevention. But if someone has nerve issues, like in diabetes or alcoholism, there's a better form called benfotiamine. It's fat-soluble, which means it gets absorbed more easily and reaches the tissues that need it most. Benfotiamine isn't cheap, but it works. There are also combo pills that mix benfotiamine with vitamin B6. B6 can help reduce anxiety and support nerve health, but high doses over time can cause problems. So don't take it for more than a month unless your doctor says so. As for B1 itself, there's no evidence that taking too much causes harm. Your body just flushes out the extra. So here's the bottom line. No, your morning coffee isn't robbing your body of vitamin B1. You can enjoy it without guilt. Vitamin B1 is important, but easy to get from real food. If you're healthy and eating well, you don't need to worry. If you're in a higher risk group, supplements can help, and benfotiamine is a solid choice. So keep your coffee, keep your chocolate, and maybe just add a handful of lentils to your lunch.